Good afternoon, everyone. Let me get in the center of this thing if I can. I'm going to tell you two stories, two. And both of them involve my older brother, John. If you've seen all my videos, you know that John passed away. But anyway, the first story involves me losing three pigeons. I was about 11 years old at the time. And let me explain something first. In New York, we were up on the roof. We had the birds up on a roof on 120th Street, and at that time, we weren't having any homers. We had flights, tiplets, ball heads, those type of pigeons, and they're not the smartest things in the world. Some of them are very smart, but for the most part, they're not smart. And the pigeon the object was to catch somebody else's pigeons. And some of us had free catch, some of us had keep catch, some of us had quarter catch or a dollar catch, depending upon how far away you flew from the flyer, or some flyers just had keep catch with everybody. So understand that first. Now that was an exciting time for a young boy to have pigeons. Catching pigeons and losing pigeons and the pigeon wars. When I tell you pigeons, there was not a street in New York that didn't have a pigeon coop on top of it, not a roof. There were thousands and thousands of pigeons all over New York, Brooklyn, the Bronx, all over. So it was common to catch a pigeon. Well, anyway, this one day, I go up on the roof, and there's no birds there, not a pigeon. And one of the flyers yells from across the street, "The hawk came." They went out towards Hess. Now Hess, he had about 3,000 pigeons. We had 18. When your pigeons got in with Hess's pigeons, they were not likely to pull out, not likely to get out. Well, I waited up on the roof, and sure as heck, they started to come back. All but three. So, I walked down to Hess's roof, which was probably about a half a mile away. It was at least 10 blocks. And I went up there, and I said, "I lost three pigeons." He pointed to a cage, and sure enough, they were in there. I said, "Any chance of me getting them back?" He says, "I have a keep catch with everybody. Nobody gets them back." So I said, "Okay." He stopped and he said, "Okay, you can have them back for 50 cents a piece." 50 cents at that time was a lot of money, especially for an 11-year-old kid. But I got the money and went up on his roof, and I paid him, and I got the birds back. They were in shock. Them birds were in shock. You could see it in them between the hawk and his 3,000 birds. They were in shock. He probably hoopled them because he couldn't walk them in, not them birds. Well, to continue with the story, my brother became a chaser for a flyer on 122nd Street. Now that flyer had 400 or 500 pigeons, and what the chaser did, he was to take care of the birds. The man that owned the birds was a limo driver, so he couldn't be there every day to feed and water the birds, take care of them. So the chaser would clean the coop, take care of the birds, let them out, and then if he catches strays, things like that. Well, it just so happens that Hess rolled over. Now, a roll is where the birds come from another flyer's loft over your loft, and you try to mix them and catch them and do whatever you want. Well, my brother John caught 23 of Hess's birds. The owner of the birds went up on the roof and he said, "John, what'd you catch?" He said, "Oh, Hess rolled over. I caught a bunch of them over there. There's at least 23 of them in there, plus I caught 4 or 5 others." So the owner said, "John, when Hess comes up, give him back." My brother said, no. My brother Danny lost 3 birds, and when he went up on Hess's roof, Hess charged him 50 cents a piece for the birds. Hess wants them back. He's going to have to pay me $1. And the owner said, "Okay, John, no problem." Well, Hess comes up on John's roof, and he wants the birds back. And my brother says, my brother went up on your roof when he lost 3 birds. You charged him 50 cents a piece. An 11-year-old kid, you charge him 50 cents. You want the birds back, it'll be $1 a piece. Hess bought them back, all 23 of them. When my brother seen me, he gives me $3. I said, "What's this, John?" He says, "I caught Hess's birds. He had to buy them back. It cost him $1 a piece." It's good to have an older brother. Okay, the second story. Again, it involves my brother John and flights and tiplets. And I think now you understand pigeon wars. We had caught a black mac. Now, what a black mac is, its body is basically white, the wings are white, but from the head down to the chest, it's got a color. In this case, it was black. Well, we let the bird out, or at least my brother did, and it takes off. But he watches it, and he sees it goes down across the street on a flyer's loft. Now that flyer's, I'm not going to mention his name in the video. I'm not going to mention names. So he said, when the flyer came up, he said, "Hey, one of my birds went down, the black mac. It should be down on your loft." He says, "If you catch it, we got a free catch. Give it back." And the flyer yells over, "There's nothing here. No black mac, nothing here." He said, "I seen it go down." He said, "No, it's not here. If it came down, it must have took off. You didn't see it." My brother says, "Okay." Well, John goes down to the bird store, and in the bird store is the black mac. He says to the owner of the store, "Wow, somebody caught that black mac." He said, "That pigeon was ripping around the sky. Everybody was chasing for it. Who caught that bird?" And the store owner tells him the name of the flyer that caught the bird. And it was that flyer that denied the bird was up on his roof. So when my brother got home, he yells over to that flyer, "You caught the black mac and you sunk it. You kept it. We got keep catch. I catch one of yours, I'll keep it. You catch one of mine, you can keep it." He said, "But you're going to be sorry." My father had flights 2 buildings over, 3 buildings over, up on a high roof. We were on a low roof. When Malone let them birds out, my brother went up and let them flights out up there. and he caught a lot of Malone's pigeons. When Malone yelled over, "Did you catch him?" He said, "Yeah, I got about 5." He said, "But remember the Black Mac? We got keep catch, pal. Just keep letting new ones out, and I'll keep catching them." Well, that's the story of my brother and some of the pigeon wars. I want to tell you, I raised pigeons for many years, and I enjoyed raising the birds. But that time in my life, up on that roof, keeping me out of trouble, was invaluable, just invaluable. It was exciting, it was fun. You lost birds, you caught birds, and everybody had a nickname. Patty Apples or Fat the Goof, whatever. Everybody had a nickname. We were the kids. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed these stories. For me, they're invaluable. That time of my life was a great time of my life as a kid. I have no regrets whatsoever. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I will be talking about racing pigeons again. And please give it a thumbs up.